The galaxy had always been a vast, indifferent expanse, dotted with empires that rose and fell like waves crashing against the shore. Humanity was a latecomer to the interstellar stage, stepping hesitantly from its blue cradle only to find itself dwarfed by the towering titans of alien civilizations. To the Zatha Dominion, the Solarian hegemony, and the Meccan Syndicate, humans were barely more than vermin, a primitive species eking out a fragile existence on the edges of relevance. It was amidst this condescension that Captain Nathan Rourke found himself aboard the Resolute, Earth's last operational warship. The year was 2478, and the Galactic Union had declared Earth's assimilation non-negotiable. The invaders had left no quarter. Cities burned, orbital platforms disintegrated, and billions perished under alien bombardments. Humanity was an ember, glowing faintly in the cosmic dark. Rourke, a former Marine turned reluctant leader, stared at the tactical displays in the ship's war room. Around him, the remnants of Earth's military elite gathered, their faces etched with despair and exhaustion. "We can't hold them," muttered Lieutenant Alvarez, his voice brittle. "Their fleet is twice the size of ours, with tech decades ahead of anything we've got." "We're not holding them," Rourke replied, his tone steel-sharp. "We're hitting them where it hurts. And when they think we're done, we'll hit them again." He gestured to the holographic map. "The Zather flagship, Indomitable. It's their command nexus. We take it out, and their fleet will fall into disarray." The room erupted into protests. "That ship's a fortress. We'd need a miracle. We'd need a suicide squad." Rourke's gaze hardened. "We've got something better than a miracle," he said. "We've got humanity's stubbornness. We'll rig the Resolute for a boarding assault. It's risky, but it's our only shot." The room fell silent. Rourke's unwavering confidence was contagious. The men and women around the table exchanged glances, nodding grimly. Humanity's back was against the wall, but they were not beaten yet. The Resolute raced through the void, its hull scarred but its spirit unbroken. The Zather fleet loomed ahead, a constellation of warships bristling with weapons. Each vessel was a marvel of alien engineering, sleek and efficient, built for domination. By contrast, the Resolute was an aging relic, a patchwork of outdated tech held together by duct tape and determination. Enemy vessels locking weapons. Came the call from the tactical officer. "Evasive maneuvers," Rourke barked. The ship groaned under the strain of sudden acceleration. Missiles and plasma bolts streaked through the blackness, narrowly missing their mark. The Resolute twisted and turned, a desperate insect evading a giant swat. Inside the ship, the crew braced themselves against the G-forces, their knuckles white on control panels. Shields down to 40%. "We're not stopping," Rourke growled. "Push through." As the Resolute approached the enemy formation, it unleashed its payload, a storm of torpedoes and EMP pulses. The explosions were brilliant, shattering smaller ships and scattering the formation. For a brief moment, there was chaos. "There! The Indomitable!" Alvarez shouted, pointing to the largest vessel at the fleet's heart. It was an imposing monstrosity, its hull gleaming with alien alloys, bristling with turrets. "Take us in," Rourke ordered. "Close enough to kiss." The Resolute hurtled toward the flagship, absorbing punishing fire. The hull buckled. Fires erupted in compartments, and alarms blared incessantly. Yet the ship pressed on, driven by sheer human tenacity. Finally, with a bone-rattling impact, the Resolute rammed into the Indomitable. Grappling lines shot out, anchoring the two ships together. "Boarding teams, move out," Rourke commanded. Clad in combat suits, humanity's last warriors charged into the alien vessel, their boots clanging on metal decks. The interior of the Indomitable was a labyrinth of sleek corridors, illuminated by cold, blue light. The Zatha defenders were waiting, their insectoid forms bristling with biomechanical weaponry. They chittered and screeched, their voices a cacophony of malice. Rourke led the charge, his rifle spitting fire. The corridor erupted into chaos as bullets met plasma and bodies fell on both sides. Humanity fought with a ferocity born of desperation, their movements precise and coordinated. "Set the charges," Rourke yelled over the din. Explosives were placed at key junctions, designed to cripple the ship systems. The Zathar were relentless, their sheer numbers threatening to overwhelm the human forces. But Rourke's squad held their ground, using every tactic they had ever learned. They fought dirty, exploiting every weakness, every blind spot. At one point, Rourke found himself pinned, plasma bolts sizzling inches from his cover. Gritting his teeth, he activated a smoke grenade and dove into the haze, emerging behind the enemy line. His knife flashed and the Zathar fell. "We're nearing the core," Alvarez reported. "Good," Rourke said, wiping alien ichor from his blade. "Let's finish this." The core chamber was a marvel of alien engineering, a pulsating sphere of energy surrounded by conduits and control panels. It was the heart of the Indomitable, the nexus of its power and command. "Defend the engineers," Rourke ordered. A team of demolitions experts rushed to rig the core with charges. Meanwhile, the rest of the squad formed a defensive perimeter. The Zathars surged into the chamber, their screeches echoing off the walls. The air was thick with the smell of ozone and burning metal. Rourke's rifle overheated, and he switched to his sidearm, firing methodically. Charges set. The lead engineer called out, "Fall back!" Rourke shouted. The humans retreated, fighting every step of the way. As they reached the extraction point, Rourke detonated the charges. The core imploded, sending shockwaves rippling through the ship. Back aboard the Resolute, the crew watched as the Indomitable disintegrated, its destruction cascading through the Zathar fleet. Ships veered off course, colliding with each other in the chaos. Cheers erupted on the bridge. Against all odds, humanity had struck a blow that would echo across the stars. Rourke slumped into his chair, exhaustion washing over him. "This isn't the end," he said, his voice firm despite his weariness. "But it's a damn good start."